had a point and it was about to come, and it was about focus and concentration. And then
It's so funny. It's about focus and concentration and you forgot it. Hey my friends, today we'd like to discuss the topic of visualization. Now, have you ever wondered about how visualization can help you in your life? Or have you ever just wondered how you can use it to, decrease stress and anxiety, to feel more peace and relaxation? Or perhaps you may have wondered about how you can use visualization for goal achievement. And if you have, then this is certainly a great lesson for you.
So we're going to kick off the lesson today by exploring the power of visualization.
Then we'll go into how focus, concentration and discipline relate to that.
And then we'll look at developing an awareness of this concept.
And lastly, we'll take a look at goal achievement. Now, in regards to visualization, we all do it naturally. That's the thing. Like, we all have images running through our mind with every thought and emotion, but we don't really notice. So, for example, can you think of your mother or father? Yeah, and the picture of them comes to your mind. In summary, there is an image going on every time you think something, but most of us aren't connected to it. Now, if I go a step further, in regards to my own experience with it, the first time I started to use it real consciously was when I wanted to buy a house. There was a house I really liked in Cyprus. We went there in 2008 and we were like, wow, that's a really nice place. And we thought we'd love to live in this area on this beach in Cyprus. So we set a goal to get a place there, and we found a picture on the internet of this place, and we put it up on our desktop on our computer and up on our wall saying, we would have this by this day, blah, blah. And sure enough, eventually we ended up having the exact house which the picture was taken from off the internet. So we wanted to live in a certain area. We ripped a picture off the internet for a house that was from there, from Governor's Beach, Cyprus. Lovely place, you should visit if you can. Hi to all my Governor's Beach friends if you're watching. And we ended up getting the exact house. So the view we had as our desktop, as our screensaver and on our wall ended up manifesting in reality because it was a part of our visualization process. So visualization just works if you apply it.
Absolutely. And one of the keys to kind of be successful with visualization is, again, it's a lot of the same idea, but it's to be relaxed about it. It's just to kind of hold it in mind and just feel it and emotionalize it and see that as that reality, and allow that feeling to kind of sink in and filter in to the present moment that you're experiencing and visualizing it. So let's say you see yourself in that house or whatever it is you want to do, and you feel the emotion of it. You allow it to spread through you and just hold it in mind. And then there's that process of trust that comes. I'm just going to trust that whatever's going to happen is going to be about this kind of goal, let's say, or this image that I've created. And often it's nowhere near the process that you think you need to go in order to get there. So that's kind of one of these tricks, that oftentimes we're saying, I want this. And then in order to get there, we think we have to go here, here, and here. But actually what happens is maybe we go here, 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 and then we get here and we go, I don't want this anymore, and then we get it. And so part of this idea of visualization is just to say, look, trust the process, hold it in mind, keep a clear focus on where you want to go, and don't kind of get discouraged or disheartened. Just know that it's all part of this journey towards there. And if we can honor the journey, honor the process, and it will make it a lot more enjoyable as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a really big part of the success. Just take it easy, hold it in mind, enjoy that process. And I think a good way to perceive it, or a good way to look at it, is, okay, I have this goal or thing or emotional state or relationship or whatever it is that I'd like to manifest or have in my life. And rather than really trying to force that into reality, it just links to what Heather's saying. Rather than trying to force yourself to it, really have it in mind and make it a process of being. Meaning that idea is you want to make it a part of your being, a part of how you are feeling in the moment, as opposed to something that you want to do or achieve. So it's like you're kind of emanating that vibration and the energy of that which you desire, wish, want to have, or whatever. and allowing it to manifest. So it's like a being and allowing, as opposed to an achieving and doing. And that's a kind of a philosophy for the success there, meaning I've done it the opposite before. I've had a goal I wanted to achieve, and I kind of every day was thinking about it, doing it, trying to achieve it, but it was a bit of a stressful journey to that end goal. Whereas by having the idea in mind and, you know, having the frequency of it, feeling it, and then enjoying that process and allowing it to manifest was much more pleasant than trying to force the outcome.
This is a huge thing that John's bringing up, and I mean, I really don't think we can kind of give the full
it's just
power of it, but it is so important, this concept, you know, of having in mind what it is that you would like to create. I mean, with your life, with your relationship, with your home, or with your job or your career, or with your emotional well-being, or with your kids, whatever it is, holding it in mind, and then just allowing that process to flow. Because, you know, for example, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day things, and so this is bringing me to this concept of the power of visualization. Let's say we want to go on a diet, or we want to lose like 5 kilos or 10 kilos or something, and when we close our eyes, the image of ourselves is this fat person that's not fit, that's like, and just eating Snickers and Mars bars whenever they can, and just like crying in the corner. Let's say that's the image you have of yourself. How do you really think that person's gonna get fit and healthy? No. The image that you have to have of yourself is this fit, healthy person. So you close your eyes and you see yourself, you know, in that bikini, or with that toned butt, or whatever you want, you know, and you see that, and then you're going to allow that process to come there. It's about what we see and hold and visualize in our mind. Now, as John brought this idea to the forefront before, it happens already. You know, we are all visualizing and seeing on a daily basis, because our thoughts are linked to images. We think things, we have images that come up in our mind every single second. What do you see right now when I was saying that?
No, I was just laughing because you're teaching your third point already. Go on.
I'm teaching every point. I can't help it. No, but this idea of the power of visualization, it's just like, it is so powerful, and it links into everything. And it's hard to talk about it without talking about all these other sort of ideas and facets and what have you. But essentially, it is kind of very much linked to, you know, goal achievement and this in life. And
you know, about my point too.
I won't talk about your point. But what I'm saying is it's really powerful. And I also want you to remember and realize how powerful it is, and do it less. I mean, one of my favorite teachers and dear friend of mine, she talks about this idea of, you know, creating less, doing less, making less kind of things that we have to achieve in our life, because it is a very kind of achieving focused world that we live in. So just being aware that every time that you are going to make a visualization, that even if you forget about it, maybe that image that you've created still has a certain level of strength or maybe control over you. So to understand how powerful it is, and to be very certain and to be very sure before you go about saying, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and make all these powerful visualizations, think to yourself, why do I want it? You know, from where is this coming from? Is this coming from a higher connected point of me? Or is this coming from my personal ego gain? I don't know why John's laughing, but
because now she's teaching point 2.
Okay, point 2. Go.
So Heather's just taught all of the lessons today. Thank you. I'm joking. Now coming back to the power of visualization. You know, in neuro-linguistic programming, they speak of how the words you say and the images you hold in mind are the things that will bring your life to be what it is. Visualization, you know, it's so extremely powerful in how it creates your life. The funny thing is we don't notice. We live in a physical world, but we also live in an energetic world, which is, let's say, leading into the visualization context or what we do there. And it makes you feel a certain way. Think now about someone that you really love. Bring them in your mind, see them. See them right there in your mind. How does that make you feel? And now bring to your mind someone that really doesn't like you, or that you don't like. and feel your body. See them. How does it make you feel? So there is an innate power in visualization which leads you to your feeling, your thinking, and to your physicality and to your material life. I'd go as far to say that the way you visualize and think, your mindset, so to speak, leads to how your life is, the quality of it, and how broad and deep you live it as well. Any other points on power visualization?
Just very powerful.
Very powerful. Okay, the next point we want to discuss is focus and concentration. Now this links back to what Heather was talking about. She was talking about not having too many things that you're thinking about. That really leads to clarity. Knowing what you really want and why you want it. Not just saying I want that Ferrari because it's sexy and girls will want me and my neighbors will be jealous. Thinking why you want it. So that's another part of it, clarity. But in regards to focus and concentration, visualization is a great tool for developing focus and concentration. Most of the time visualization is practiced in meditative practices, but it doesn't have to be. You can just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to work on my visualization here. Now, by picking an image, whatever it is, like an apple or, what your goal is in 3 years from now, or maybe the business you want to create, or maybe the relationship you want, whatever it is, working on seeing that in your mind will strengthen over time. Meaning, as you continue to practice this, it takes regular, consistent practice. I'm not going to say it's easy. You're going to be able to visualize the whole world in exact detail in a day. You need to practice. And by practicing whatever that visualization is, your goal or an apple or whatever, you're taking the time to develop your focus, to develop your concentration, which in turn develops discipline. Now, on that note, you want to have clarity about what it is you want to develop as well. But that's kind of a side note. To put it simply, know why you want it so you don't end up climbing the wrong mountain.
And also on that point, I had a point and it was about to come, and it was about focus and concentration. And then
it's so funny. It's about focus and concentration and you forgot it.
So this idea of developing awareness. Now all we need to think about with this is, like we were discussing, it's happening already. Our thoughts are already going. Whether or not we want to or not, we are creating and projecting images. So it's about being conscious of the images that we're creating and projecting, and making sure that they're aligning with our goals and our focus on where we want to go. Like, let's say we want to lose weight and we want to go there, but we keep visualizing ourselves fat eating a Snickers bar, right? Or we want to kind of be more successful in what we're doing, but we keep kind of visualizing ourselves being a failure. So we have to make sure that we align these thoughts to where we want to go. And the best way that I've found and we've found with our work is to visualize this end goal, keep that in mind, and then allow any time these kind of thoughts, and they will come. Some thoughts will come like, oh, you're rubbish, you can't do this, or oh, just go and eat the Snickers, go and do it, you want to do it.
I think Heather wants to eat a Snickers.
I don't really like Snickers, but the idea is that as these other thoughts or images will come, it's up to you to decide whether or not to attach to them. Now, the idea, what I mean, let's say this image comes and it goes, you're rubbish, you can't do this. I can allow myself to kind of go into this visualization and see this image and really feel it in my body, which will strengthen it. Or I can see this image come here and go, no, thank you. I want to go here. So just let it pass like a fly, or swat it with a tea towel. Out you go. And then you focus here. And these ones will gain more strength. And these ones will be pulling you more towards them, rather than the ones we don't want, kind of eat that Snickers or do that thing. And you start to go, no, I don't want it, no, I don't want it. And it kind of like draws your attention over here. Even though you want to go here, you're focusing all your attention here. And it's like, so you start to get stuck. So developing an awareness of where you want to go and how the blockages try to come, just let them go and focus forwards.
Good. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that. Developing awareness does lead to you having the ability to choose to take on a certain idea or not. If you're not aware of it, you'll just go into it. So that's key. Now, another part about visualization and developing awareness around it is that as you strengthen your ability to visualize, to see things in your mind, or to be aware of the seeingness in your mind, that's a different thing. Meaning consciously visualizing something or being aware of what is already visualized. So the two parts. Now, what I'm getting at here is that as you develop your ability to visualize, you'll start to notice the things that you've created already. So you'll start to see what's in your mind or in your subconscious that's already been created without you being aware of it. This may be a bit of a higher level for some of you. Some of you might be like, yeah, that's basic stuff. But the point is that strengthening your visualization allows you to get to know what's going on within your mind, within your heart, within your conscious and subconscious mind. Now, why is that important? Because if you are aware of the thoughts or the images or thought forms, let's call them, in your mind, then you can choose, like what Heather's saying, which ones you wish to grow and energize as a part of your character and a part of yourself, and which ones you'd like to decrease and disregard. So gaining that awareness is going to develop your ability to know the whole makeup, you know, and it's a continual process and journey. It's like it goes on forever in some way. But yeah.
Yeah, forever, as long as we even don't breathe. Okay, so...
Anything you want to wrap up on that one, or are you good?
No, I think
okay.
you've said most things.
Okay, so lastly, we'd like to discuss goal achievement.
Didn't you just discuss that?
No, I was just giving my point on developing awareness. I hadn't said anything on it yet.
Oh.
All right, can we get the flow going? No, I didn't say anything.
You're the one that stopped the flow. I was fine.
You said, didn't we just talk about that?
That's okay.
Okay, so Heather's going to have to chop up this a bit. Goal achievement. Now, visualization links directly to your goal achievement, whether you do it consciously or subconsciously. Meaning, whatever your goals are in life, if you have any, they are tied to an image. So think now of some goal you have, whether it's to lose weight or read a book or open a business or whatever. And think of that goal and try to be conscious now, what image comes to your mind? Now, the relationship you have with that image and the amount of energy or love or fear or passion or whatever it is that you put into that visualization is going to either lessen the likelihood of it manifesting and becoming a reality or increase it. Meaning, if you've got a certain goal you'd like, let's just say, for example, writing a book. And every time you think about writing a book, you get like a fear or a negativity, or you hear criticisms around that from what other people have said. If the emotional energy around that visualization isn't supportive, it's not going to help lead you to it. So, in regards to goal achievement, when you visualize what it is that you want to achieve or manifest or whatever, putting a loving, a faithful, a positive emotional set towards it is going to empower that achievement.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, I 100% agree. Just putting that emotion and being there with it.
Okay, great. So let's go into an exercise so you can understand what I mean by applying it to goal achievement. Take some deep breaths. Close your eyes. And feel that with each breath you take, you become more and more relaxed. Breathing in peace and breathing out relaxation. Let your mind calm, and even if you can't, it doesn't matter. Just be present to your body and your breath. Now, depending when you're watching this, whether it's in the evening or in the morning or whenever, I'd like you to visualize the rest of your day. If it's quite late, visualize tomorrow. And I want you to see the events that you're going to be going through. Maybe you're meeting a friend, or you've got a meeting at work, or you've got some things you need to do. Just start to visualize it happening. Either observing yourself from the outside or from within, like first person view. And start to see how you'd like it to play out. Perhaps you're meeting with a friend and you'd like to be enthusiastic and joyous. Or you've got a meeting and you'd like to really be as creative and contribute as much as possible. Or perhaps you might have a situation coming today that may cause some stress or strain. And how can you react or act from your highest self here? or your best self. So start to visualize yourself going through the day and being how you wish to be throughout your activities. Now let's jump ahead 3 years from now. See, feel, and visualize how you want your life to be then. You may not know exactly what that is. If not, that means you need to get some clarity work and understand your why and what you want in your life. But most people have an idea. Maybe it's that house, or you live in a certain country, or got a certain job, or you got your relationships a certain way. And start to visualize how your life is in 3 years from now. And as you think forward into that future, bring the emotion of love, joy, enthusiasm, bring all the positive emotions to really reinforce that idea, that visualization. Feel the feelings around it. Once again, taking some deep, conscious breaths. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Now, in summary, the power of visualization. We discussed the power of visualization. And number 2,
We looked at focus and concentration.
then we were talking about developing awareness. And lastly, we spoke on goal achievement. Okay, if you have any questions or you'd like to discuss, feel free to post below. And we look forward to working with you again soon.